You're watching Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. On today's show, we're going to break down the top free agents available, according to Pro Football Focus, at every one of the Seahawks' top areas of need heading into the offseason. And if you need a quick refresher, these are the priority needs for Seattle. Obviously, there's some other needs to address, but these are the priorities. The interior of the offensive line, the guard spots, the center position. We don't know if Olu's quite good enough yet. We shall see. The offensive tackle spot, is Abraham Lucas going to stay healthy? At the very least, you need some backup options behind Lucas and Cross. The edge rusher position, you're likely going to be without Uchenna Nwosu and Draymond Jones. Need some other parts there. The corner position, you look at some of the pieces there. You got Devin Witherspoon, you got Rick Woolen, but you don't have a ton of other options there. The defensive line, as of right now, Jarrett Reed is a free agent. You got Byron Murphy there. You got Leonard Williams there, but you need some more. Jonathan Hankins also a free agent. The tight end spot, Noah Fant was a little underwhelming this year. Looking to upgrade and replace him potentially. And then the safety spot, love what we saw from Julian Love. Kobe Bryant had a nice breakout year in the second half of the season, but you need some depth pieces, and we know that Mike McDonald wants the ability to run three high safeties, and they weren't really able to do that a ton in 2024. So with that said, let's start with the guard position for Seattle. The top guard on the market is Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. He will get the chance to compete for another Super Bowl title, and he is not going to be cheap. He's expected to go for at least $22 million on the free agent market, but he is pretty damn good, if I'd say so myself, and he's done a really good job of protecting Patrick Mahomes. Will Fries of the Indianapolis Colts is also on this list as well, and you have to think that if Fries gets the opportunity to leave, he would love the chance to get out of Indianapolis, as that organization doesn't look like they're going anywhere. And then there's Teven Jenkins, drafted out of Oklahoma State a couple of years ago. And the coaching staff kind of had their doubts on Teven Jenkins, but then he really started to put it together, and he's turned into a solid starting guard in this league. And I don't think you necessarily would have to break the bank for Teven Jenkins either. Meanwhile, at the center position, names include Drew Dalman from the Atlanta Falcons. And think about this. Olu has shown some positional flexibility. So if you're Seattle, if you find a center you like in this mix, that doesn't mean Olu necessarily has to go anywhere. Ryan Kelly, the veteran from the Indianapolis Colts, he's another option as well for Seattle. And then there's Coleman Shelton, also from the Chicago Bears as well, as a potential center option for Seattle there. So who is a player the Seahawks should sign? We got plenty more names we're going to run through here, but we want to hear from you guys first. Who's a player that comes to mind that you would like to see Seattle pick up in free agency here in just a few weeks from right now? Seahawks Today is closing in on 63,000 subscribers here on the channel as we continue to bring you daily news and rumors. We are doing live shows not just once but twice a week, each and every Monday and Wednesday here on the channel. We're bringing you breaking news, Q&A mailbags, your one-stop shop for all things Seattle Seahawks. We are your Seahawks offseason headquarters. Help us reach our next milestone, 63,000 subscribers, just 350 away from reaching that next mark. For the latest happenings to your favorite team all offseason long, subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. The edge rusher position for Seattle, we mentioned Uchenna Nwosu and Draymond Jones probably on the way out. Khalil Mack of the LA Chargers is available. Khalil Mack has had a Hall of Fame career. He has been fantastic throughout his time period, and we've seen that over the years, Mike McDonald has a pretty good track record of working with these older pass rushers. Khalil Mack, just a couple of seasons ago, had 18 sacks plus in a single season. Josh Sweat of the Philadelphia Eagles, he's been kind of forgotten about there in Philly. They have so many good defensive players that he's kind of faded a bit there in Philly, but he does feel like a guy that Mike Macdonald could certainly utilize and get the most out of him. And then there's Haason Reddick from the New York Jets. Had a long holdout there with the New York Jets. Finally showed up at the halfway point of the year, and it was a bit too late for Haason Reddick as the Jets season was quickly falling apart, and he didn't meet expectations of what the Jets were hoping for, and his value has gone down quite a bit from what it was at this time a year ago. The corners. Here's a familiar name to Seahawk fans. DJ Reed. Could he make a return to Seattle? I got to tell you, DJ Reed's one of those guys that when you look at players Seattle moved on from, that there's a bit of regret. I wish DJ Reed was still a member of the Seattle Seahawks. That is one that got away from Seattle, and we've seen John Schneider really like the reunions over the years. Maybe there's a window open for DJ Reed to make a comeback. A name that is familiar within the division, San Francisco 49ers corner Charvarius Ward. He won a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs, and his play took another level when he went to San Francisco. He has thrived in that San Francisco defense and has turned into a really good player. And then from the Buffalo Bills, there is Rasul Douglas as an option available as well. He's been a pretty good player for that Buffalo Bills defense that just reached the AFC Championship game. Should the Seahawks bring back DJ Reed? I would love to see DJ Reed make a return to Seattle. I think he's exactly what this team could use right now. Weigh in, let us know. Type Y for yes, in for no. Should the Seahawks bring back DJ Reed? Weigh in the comments section and let us know. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. Choose two or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS, and get $50 to play for free. When you play $5, you don't even have to win to get the money. And Prize Picks right now is offering you the chance to win up to 1,000 times your money. The big game is almost here, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game. Prize Picks is also giving away a free pick for the big game where Patrick Mahomes will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win free cash. So with that in mind, for the big game, I'm going with Patrick Mahomes to have more than half a passing yard. Give me Saquon to have more than half a rushing or receiving touchdown. I put $20 down, and both those hit. That turns into $50 on Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of Seattle Seahawks Today. Let's go to the interior of the defensive line now, and that's where we find Osa. We're going to call him Osa. The big fella there in Dallas, and somebody that AD is very familiar with as well. Staying within the NFC Beast is Philadelphia Eagles defensive lineman Milton Williams as another option as well for Seattle. And then we also find Levi O from the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions defense much improved this past year, particularly at the defensive line, and Levi O was a part of that as well. The tight end position with Seattle likely moving on from Noah Fant and looking at other options here. I think they're more likely to go to the draft, but if they do to go to free agency, there's a few options, which include Juwan Johnson from the New Orleans Saints, who has been very good in recent years. Also, Mike Gesicki from the Cincinnati Bengals is another option as well. Gesicki, solid with the Miami Dolphins. He was a nice target for Joe Burrow this past season with the Cincinnati Bengals as well. He's another potential option there. And then Tyler Conklin from the New York Jets is another name to keep an eye on as well there with New York. And if you're him, why would you want to play for the New York Jets in all their problems? We know that the Seahawks want that tight end position under Mike Macdonald to be more involved than what we've seen in previous eras under Pete Carroll And there might be an opportunity for a guy like Conklin to thrive there as far as that goes. What is the biggest need the Seahawks should address? We've gone over several of them. What comes to mind to you? Weigh in and tell us. And if you're going to tell me offensive line, which I know some of you are, be specific, please. Tell me what it is specifically the Seahawks need to address in the comment section below. Let's go to the safety spot now. We find Javon Holland of the Miami Dolphins also on this list. We also see Talanova Hufanga on the list. I'm trying, folks. Bear with me on this. Of the San Francisco 49ers. And then Cameron Bynum of the Minnesota Vikings also on this list as well as potential options there. And for some of you that may be saying, look, we already got Julian, we already got Kobe. Well, that didn't stop Mike McDonald from getting the most out of Marcus Williams, Kyle Hamilton, and Geno Stone in Baltimore. You can have 3 good safeties in a Mike McDonald defense and have them all be effective as far as that goes. For continuing Seahawks coverage, subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today for the latest happenings in your favorite team all offseason long. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on the channel.